Welcome back. Welcome back to Under the Umbrella Podcast. We back women's NCAA college top 25 ranking for you guys. We want to give our amazing ladies that's playing right now, young women that's playing right now, in college basketball that has been doing their thing. And we want to show them some love too. We want to show everybody some love here on the pod. And we just want to continue. We're going to have a good discussion on the top 25, speak on some players that we like and we want to see. And we just appreciate everybody watching. Cam, you got anything?
We can get right to it. I mean, we're excited about, obviously the men's season and women's season starting soon. So we're just trying to, bring y'all some of our opinions about certain teams and players and top 25 and those type of things. So, yeah, we're just ready to get started for y'all.
So to kick off the top 25 ranking, we got South Carolina, the defending champs at number 1. Number 2, 3, USC. 4, we got Texas. 5, we got UCLA. Number 6 is Notre Dame. Number 7 is LSU. Iowa State. At 8, number 9, NC State. 10, we got Oklahoma. At number 11, we got the Duke, the Blue Devils. 12, we got Baylor. 13, we got K-State, which is Kansas State. 14, we got Ohio State. 15, UNC. 16, West Virginia. 17, Louisville. 18, ranked number 18, we got Maryland. At number 19, we have Florida State. 20 is Ole Miss. 21 is Creighton. 22 is Kentucky. And number 23 is Nebraska. Number 24 ranked team in the nation is Alabama. And to finish the whole list off, we got Indiana. The Hoosiers as number 25 ranked team for women's college basketball. So Cam, we all know as women basketball fans, especially on the college level, it's kind of like I don't want to say just leaving as just top heavy, but we know like the top 10 teams are they usually in women's college basketball, the top 10 teams, we know they usually dominate. That's just how the nature of the beast when it comes to women college basketball. They usually dominate. So we're not gonna say too much. I just want you to just shout out a few of these teams. Any takes, anything you want to see, anything you're expecting from any of these teams in the top 25.
Yeah, so I definitely agree with you on the aspect of, like you said, normally they usually pretty consistently they dominate, the season. They stay pretty consistent throughout the year. Like I would think most people, South Carolina is a team that, I always look forward to seeing play every year. Definitely UConn. I feel like those two are kind of similar to Kansas on the men's side, where those two teams are kind of the teams you look to be the most successful, or at least you expect the most from them probably. Obviously USC with Juju there, you're gonna have expectations for them. Texas, they're a top 5 team, and like I mentioned on the men's side, they're switching conferences, so they're going from the Big 12 to the SEC. So I think that may be an adjustment period for them. Same thing with UCLA, rounding off that top 5. They're switching from the Pac-12 to the Big 10. So like we mentioned before, the travel, things like that could have an effect on how they season or how long they take to adjust to the changes. But for sure, South Carolina and UConn, they're going to be the top 2 teams for me, just because how can you not want to watch them play? Like the teams they have, the coaching, it's like, yeah, that's pretty much the purest basketball right there.
Yeah, that's true. Especially to me, if I had to bet right now on FanDuel or something, heavy favorite, I would probably put most of my money on South Carolina just because of like the 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 kids, the young ladies that's taking over, that's gonna jump into like these bigger roles. They were a big factor in the championship game. So it's like
Right.
now they're back on the court with more playing time. Yes, it's gonna be more mistake with more playing time, but they played good on that highest stage college women's college basketball. So I expect a lot from them, especially with the point guard Fulgi. I don't want to botch her name.
I
Like
know,
her quickness, like no, I don't want to botch her name, but the guards, Pow being there as a leader to own in the younger women on the team, so that helps. And the overall, just having Don Sally as a coach is like a blessing. So that's why I'm thinking they're gonna probably be calling. On the other hand, they're coming back with experience. We know the last 3 years injury bug has been eating UConn up in women's basketball. Like now they get back. But Paige had a good run last year. Now hopefully everybody stay healthy. That core could go. Although they lost Edwards, with that's a big loss, but I think they're gonna make up for it. And you know Juju. I think Juju is the next Jordan. That's just I think Juju is Jordan like on her way. Yeah, see USC is is gonna be a real good team because they had the transfer from Stanford. Stanford, I believe she played power forward next to Cameron Briggs. She
yeah,
transferred over.
I think we mentioned that in one of the later episodes of or might have been the last episode last season. We did mention her.
Yep. So that's what I'm saying. They could obviously become the champ. Like so that's why I'm like, it's always gonna be so top heavy because these teams are the talent level disparity is like sometimes like kind of crazy. But out of everybody in the whole 25, I'm excited to see Texas. Uh, the reason why I'm excited to see Texas, and I don't know if because the player that Texas have, which is Madison Booker,
Hmm.
Madison potentially be probably the player of the year in women college basketball. Like I know we all think Juju might run away with it or Paige might run away with, but I feel like Madison Booker has that. She has those skill sets to be like that kind of person. And I know that freshman, so I'm excited to see Texas and LSU just because LSU is like who don't want to see Flage play? Like who don't want to see her
Right.
play? So it's like her Williams, like we want to see how LSU is gonna be without an Angel Reese competitive. So that's something like I'm excited to see mainly Texas. I want to see how Madison Booker is gonna step into like because I feel like people are now getting into like women's basketball or discovering players like her doesn't really have a big name for themselves yet. So I feel like that's going to be exciting to see her play.
Yeah,
And
and
Candace,
I'm glad you brought.
is there anyone you're excited to see playing this year in women's college basketball?
I'm glad you brought up Madison Booker because she won Big 12 Player of the Year, Freshman of the Year, had 32 double doubles. Was it double doubles?
Yeah, double doubles. And
Yeah. So she's like you said, she's one of those players where maybe her name's not as doesn't stand out like some of the other young ladies that's playing, but she's clearly she's been effective. She's been producing. So like I said, with her and then the guard Corey Harmon that's coming back. That's why I mentioned some of the players that's coming back from injury. She's been out for almost 2 years now. She's back, and I think that'll help a lot too, having like a veteran presence also, somebody with some experience. So I'm definitely excited to check out Texas. Same thing with LSU. Definitely want to see some UCLA game. And then obviously USC, you're gonna watch Juju. And then UConn, you're gonna want to watch Page, of course.
Yeah,
So even I think South Carolina, I think that's another team that, like you said, because of their talent, people are gonna want to watch them play. It's gonna be exciting basketball. It's gonna be good basketball. They're well coached. Most of the teams that we've mentioned, especially on the women's side, they're gonna be well coached. And I
yep,
think
that's
that's
true.
part of the reason why some of those teams, like we said, it's a little top heavy, but I think the coaching is what kind of separates some of those good teams from, teams that are potential champions and can make a run in the tournament. So I think coaching has a lot to do with it also.
Yeah, and like you said, like the coach, because coaching, like it is a bigger factor in my opinion on the women's side, just because like sometimes the game is like I know a lot of people might not agree with me. It's probably a little bit more fundamental, just a little bit more. I feel like more. It's think like it doesn't get like some people talent they don't need so much fundamentals because like they athleticism, they talent on the other side with men, they could kind of like skip over certain stuff. But I feel like that's when coaching plays like a big factor when you're playing the game at like a pure, like you said earlier, like they playing at a pure level, like the game is very
Right.
pure. So like coaching is like super big when it comes to like that with the X's and O's. And then for me, like the last player in my opinion, like I'm excited to see Seller from Maryland because like we spoke offline, Cam, when we was like, it's just so weird now that like schools like Maryland and Louisville, they're like not those top 10 teams no more in women's college basketball because probably the recruiting went down for a couple of years. But like Sellers, like more like I'm excited to see her. She plays for Maryland. Like they're ranked like 18 this year. But I'm more excited to see her bigger guard, does a lot. So I'm like being in a closer area. I might even get tickets to go see them play. Just being in the closer area. So I'm like really excited. I know I'm being biased, but I'm really excited to see her play because I'm gonna most likely go see her play in person. Like bigger guard that does a lot, almost similar to like Madison Booker, who has to like switch when the point guard went down. She had to kind of become a guard a little bit. Then it's a lot of like I wouldn't say this class, this freshman class that's coming in is not I wouldn't say as packed as last year's class, because you had Juju, you had Williams from LSU, you had it was so many of them. Hannah from Notre Dame. There's like it was so packed, like it was so much talent in that class. And this class, like I'm not saying the freshman class doesn't have a lot of talent, but it's not as the same. So it's a few teams that I might be excited that's not top heavy. That's not in the top heavy list. I might be able to watch here and there if I get the chance. But overall though, women's college basketball will be fun. I know a lot of people think because Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese is gone that it won't be fun, but it's gonna be fun. You just gotta be just speaking to the fans, anyone that's listening, you just gotta be willing to watch their game.
Right.
You just gotta be willing to watch their games. It will be fun. So, any other take, Cam, before we get out of here for the night, man?
Um, Now I'm just looking forward to basketball being back on and season starting back up. So we definitely gonna have, a bunch of topics we can talk about and a bunch of discussions we can bring to y'all and just um have a good season. And, we're just excited for everybody to get back hooping.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're gonna have to put football to the side. Football,
Oh yeah.
baseball is gone. Basketball is in full effect now. Once November hit, it's like
Yeah.
it's
Must.
basketball for everybody. People better not be on that FanDuel losing all their money, man.
Nah, that's gonna happen. I didn't already just seen it. Everybody talking about parlays and all that, so I already know
Man.
that's here.
Yeah, but we happy basketball is back, y'all. We just want to thank everybody for listening to us on YouTube now and still on the audios on Spotify whenever you guys get a chance. We appreciate it. Leave a comment, like, even a dislike. Let us know. Critique us. Let us know if we're not doing something right. We need to be DM us and let us be like, hey, you didn't talk about my favorite school. You didn't talk about my favorite player. Let us know. We'll get to it. So like we always say, man, until next time, stay under the umbrella.